This is the advice that nobody really wants to hear. If you are a woman in business and it just feels like everything is about content, and you're starting to feel a bit sick of that being the thing that you spend the majority of your time on, I'm going to talk to you about what I did to get clients before selling on social media, marketing on social media was even a thing, and why that still applies today in relation to your content and being on social media. I'm Lydia Kimmerling. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm a master life coach. I'm a business mentor. I have been in business since 2010, helping women in service-based businesses scale to 6 figures and beyond with my 30 leads in 30 days strategy. All without hustle, without pressure, without striving. I really do believe that if your business is stealing your peace, your joy, your freedom, you have created a cage, not a business. I don't want that for you. I really want for you to feel calm and joyful in your business, because if you get to a point where you just don't love what you do anymore, you are going to give up. Don't give up. I'm about to give you a tip that is going to make it easier for you on the days where you think, how am I now just like a content creator? This isn't what I set out to do. When it feels joyful and fun, and you remember this key foundation to what makes business work, you are always going to be able to find ease and flow in what you do and how clients are attracted to you. Okay, so let's jump back to 2010 when I was starting out as a life coach. I was 27, I was finishing my training, and I'd done an advanced life coaching course in the States. Now, at that time, I think we got maybe 1 class on marketing. And honestly, it wasn't really very good. I didn't learn much from it at all. So when I came off this course, I was just like, right, like, got to start a business, and I do what a lot of people starting out do is, well, I bought the domain. So, now I've got the web domain, I made the logo, right? And you kind of think, I've got a business. Why isn't anyone coming? Like, where are the clients, right? No, that's not enough. So I did what I know to do and do well, which was I just spoke to people. I went and spoke to people. Wherever I had the opportunity, I would start a conversation, and I was just curious with that person. Now, as a life coach, that could be broad and it would work well for me, because as long as I was curious about them and took time to understand what was going on in their life, there was usually some way in which I was able to support them and help them. But what does that mean about your business? Because actually that applies in every single business. Ultimately, business is about building relationships. Somebody is only going to buy from you if they can trust you. That's it. Or trust the service or the product that you're selling, that it's genuinely going to solve the problem that they have and create the transformation that they want. To do that, there has to be a level of connecting with the client. And isn't that a beautiful thing? That it doesn't have to be about you being this kind of selling, fierce, driving home the clothes kind of person. Most women don't really like that or want to be that person. But when I talk to you about building relationships, unless you've been a hermit, you've done that. You've done that in your life multiple times. You know how to have a conversation that creates some level of connection, because you've also done that. When we break down a relationship, we know that there needs to be certain things. There's got to be a level of good communication, some trust that, what this person is saying is truthful and that they can help, and that you feel like a supportive person. You're going to be kind, or whatever is needed in that kind of dynamic, right? if you're seeking out a personal trainer, you might really want that person to be the kind of one that's going to give you a kick up the ass and going to motivate you. You want to see these traits. And essentially, we use the same skills to build that relationship with potential clients. Now, here's the truth. If you haven't been getting leads, if your client intake has dipped or plateaued, you are not having enough conversations. And you're stuck on thinking that the only way in which you can have a conversation is when somebody actually books a discovery call with you. I'm going to change your mind about that right now. So before social media, I was just going out and having these conversations. I had to go out and have the conversation, right? But now we have social media, which is great. But maybe you think, well, nobody's getting in touch with me. I'm not hearing from people that haven't got a lot of followers. The good news is you don't even need a big following to have conversations. If you have a platform that has 500 people, then imagine your platform being like a shop. Those 500 people have essentially come to your shop. They may not have bought anything yet. Maybe they're all just hanging around on the outside, occasionally looking in the window. But if somebody was there every now and then, like just looking in, and you can tell that they're liking what they see, would you not come out of the shop and say, hello, hi, how are you? You would, right? The same thing applies to a shop as it does to a business profile on social media, especially a platform like Instagram or TikTok, where you can really dialogue with somebody. So if you have a business Instagram and it's got a few hundred people on there, you need to be having conversations with these people. This is called outreach. It's going out to reach your client. Whether that is out of your house, going to a networking event, or outside of your posting to speak to them in the DMs, you're not being rude approaching somebody who's decided to follow a business profile. If they've liked a piece of content, if they've watched your story, check out their profile, see who they are, understand why they might be following you, and just say hi and say something personal about what you've seen on their profile, just to start a conversation. You know how to do that because you've done it before, and you're remembering that the basis of a business is to build relationships. This is what I did to build my business in 2010. This is what I do to sustain my business in 2026. It's no different. Then I just did it off of social media, and now I do it online. So this is not hard. I know you can do it. But if you still feel some awkwardness or you're still unsure, I'd love to hear from you below. Don't leave without saying hi and dropping a comment. What about this has been really eye-opening and has set you free? Or is it still leaving some discomfort in you about actually having to speak to potential clients? I'd love to know. And if you want to know how I can support you in my mentorship, drop a comment below or come say hi on Instagram. This is where we can start the conversation, and I'll explain to you how I help you scale to 6 figures using my 30 leads in 30 days strategy. If this has really spoken to you and you know that you need to be having more conversations, maybe you've been trying to network and have those conversations in real life outside of social media, check out my other video where I talk about my #1 tip that turns networking conversations into clients.